Hi guys, welcome back to the Adaptive Zone podcast. My name is Matthew Boyd. I'm a physiotherapist and running coach. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you're so inclined, share it with a friend. Today we're going to be talking with one of our clients again, Lois, my favorite client. Welcome to the show.
He says that to everyone,
I
I'm
do
sure.
not. I never said that before.
Hello.
so, so Lois, could you tell us a little bit about you and your background in running?
Okay, well, I started running when I was around late 30s and started just very, very gradually with jogging at lunchtime. And then I think I eventually did um, I did a race, a 10K, but it wasn't recorded or anything. It was a Terry Fox fun run. And I quite enjoyed that. And that was in Ottawa. And I met some other like minded people. So I started to actually train for local races. And we did some 5Ks and 10Ks and did that for a few years. And then I guess I was in my mid 40s and then decided to take it a step further and joined the running room and did a half marathon. Not before actually watching people come in and doing the half marathon the year before, which quite encouraged me because I saw people from all walks of life coming in and they all survived. So I thought, well, I think I could do this. So that's what I did and loved it. And then started training for marathons and did, I guess, about 15 marathons. It was one a year. And then with
Wow.
half and 10Ks in between. The last one was about 8 years ago. And then I just started doing halves and tens. So it just seemed to be better suited with my lifestyle, and the marathons were starting to kill me. A lot of money going to massage and physio, and I started doing other things as well, traveling, for example. Anyway, so then I did that up until a year and a half ago. I had just done a fall half marathon, and of course, I just do it recreationally, and I'm happy to do 2.5. If I do 240, that's okay. Perfect. I was really happy with that. And then we went on a cruise, which is why I don't do marathons anymore. My husband and I went on a cruise, and we were dancing, and I twisted my knee, but I didn't know the extent of the damage. I did. I ignored it. It wasn't getting any better until it really got bad, swelled up, very painful. It would, with rest, subside, and then I would try to run, forget it. I got to the point where I couldn't swim, I couldn't cycle, I couldn't walk, let alone run. And
Oh,
then I would get sort of better, but the knee was this big. I finally went for an MRI and I have a torn meniscus. So start at that point, that was around January, February, and then started to see a physiotherapist who got me
hmm.
on exercises. So I could visually see the swelling went down, I was getting stronger, I was doing all the exercises, and then I would attempt to go for a run. The left knee was so weak when I tried to run, I would feel it with the first step. And it just didn't get better. I was very discouraged. When I called you, I think it was in July or August, because that year was 2022.
Hmm.
We were at the cottage and I was feeling very depressed because I couldn't run. I couldn't even swim because when I went in the water, I'd kick a certain way and my knee would flare up. So I was pretty depressed. I think you knew I was depressed. And then you said that,
Yeah.
okay, well, let's get you on a program. We'll start now. And that was like August. I said, are you kidding? I can't even walk. Let me take it easy. And I'll get back in touch in September and I'll do these exercises and see what happens. Not that I didn't have faith in you. I just didn't think I was going to be able to run again. I was actually looking at being able to walk comfortably, to sit on the toilet unassisted, which was going to be a big thing without having to put everything on my right knee. I was ridiculous. Anyway, we got together and started with the baby steps, and I think it was September. My goal was to do a 10K sometime in the spring. I thought, well, I'm just going to follow what you said. and what you prescribed through Grace and Heidi. And anyway, I just followed it. And sometimes I'd have to miss because I'm retired and we go on a holiday, or plus I got COVID and then I got a cold or whatever. All that came in, but I still applied what you said when I could, when it was possible. And there were a couple of days where, a couple of times where I took a couple of steps back. The knee was hurting again, started back over, and you had forewarned me that that would happen. So I just believed you and continued on. And then I was realizing there were points where I think, I don't know if I'm ever going to get better. I would be running. This kind of hurts. I'm not really enjoying it. My cardio's crap. It was kind of a good thing that my knee didn't get better than my cardio. It would have really been miserable. So this was probably a good thing because the cardio took a while to catch up. I could not believe it because that had never happened before.
Yeah.
My cardio was not good. So I was depressed in some cases over that until I think we had one of our meetings. And then you said, okay, well, where were you like 2 months ago? And I had to think about that. And I'm like, wow, I've made some gains here. But it wasn't readily, I didn't see that right away until I had to look back. So, okay, well, maybe he's got something here. And just followed the program and did 2.5 weeks ago a 10K. And I was just thrilled, absolutely no pain. And that was amazing.
Yeah.
And actually qualified in my age division. And so, yeah, I mean, it's all wonderful.
How long was it from the cruise to you doing that race? Like
What?
from the injury when you were on the cruise, how long was it
Um,
until you did that 10K?
um, okay, that would have been, I guess, 16 months or
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
It was November that I injured, and they did not actually even know that I'd injured it to that extent. So there was a delayed even any kind of therapy. And then even that wasn't really preparing me for running. It was just preparing me for, I think, walking. Um, I don't know. Yeah. It was about a year. It was a year and a half, I think, before I was
And
able
then
to run again.
and you
Yeah.
didn't run until you started working with us, which was in
Right.
September. So it was almost a year from November till
Oh,
September.
definitely. It was
Yeah.
10 months that I had not run. I mean, I tried to do a tiny little bit of running. And then with you, I think my first run was 60 seconds.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I'm running. And
It's
for
better
those
than
60
nothing.
seconds, I was like thrilled. And then walking again. But then it was very soon thereafter, I think I could do 10 minutes. So with the approach of the traffic lights, that was key. That it's okay to run with a little bit of pain, but once it starts to intensify, then to, scale back, I think that was key. I just didn't know prior to that how much I should endure in terms of pain before stopping, and then I'd probably go too far early on. And then it got to the point where I had very little pain, and I was afraid just because of that, So
What were you afraid of?
more pain.
Going back to where you had been?
Yeah, and then the leg was very weak. I know I was favoring the
Yeah.
right side. Exercises I could tell right off when we started with your program. The left side was very, very weak in comparison because it was afraid. And, then I had to say, no, it's okay. Let's just keep going. And I did find a very good physiotherapist here in Aurelia, where I'm currently living. And he had said, no, go ahead. This is great. He loved the program that you had prescribed. So I think he thinks he's the one that's responsible for my progress. But I let him do that because he's very good.
There's many hands, right? What did they say? It takes a
Yes.
village.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Anyway.
you said that you felt the cardio was very diminished, right? Which, 10 months off running is not a big surprise. But you said that made it very hard when you were doing your recovery with us as we were trying to build up your running, that you felt like you weren't, I don't know if you said you weren't getting anywhere or you just felt very discouraged because your fitness wasn't what you hoped it would be. Can you kind of unpack
Yeah.
that a bit for us?
Well, I mean, there'd always been previous years when I was younger, obviously, than when I resumed running, because often there would be the big marathon in May, and in the summer it wasn't so great. You'd miss, the regular runs, and then by mid-August, starting to prepare for a half or something in the fall, which was usually the army run. Um, it wouldn't take long at all to get back into the same level of cardio. This time around, I had never gone for that long, like almost a year of no cardio, though. I'd never done that. So, and I just, my expectations were higher. And I found that I just took longer. I was pooped. I was tired.
Mm.
But in a way, it coincided with the condition of my knee anyway.
Yeah.
So I
So
think
you
I
were
would have,
limited both by the
if
cardio
my
and the
knee
knee.
had been perfect and I couldn't do it because I couldn't keep up, I think that would have been worse.
Mm. And then,
Yeah.
so with it taking a few months and you slowly building up, you said you were feeling quite down about it. And then it started to turn around and you started to feel more positive. Can you talk to us about like what changed and was it something in particular that you found you could do that made you sort of feel like, okay, I'm moving in the right direction now? Or
There were days, of course, I was in Florida. Yeah, my life sucks. I'm in Florida in the winter, cottage in the summer, cruises in between. Sorry. But anyway, I was in, a lot of it was Florida was so hot as well, which really kind of was difficult to get through with any of the runs, even in the morning. It would just be different.
mm,
I had never trained in such conditions
mm,
before, so that made a big difference because. And then I kept saying it's got to be the weather or whatever, and it
mm,
it was because when we came back and I went for a run here in the fresh, clear, in the trail here by a trail, it was just so different. So I
mm,
felt
mm.
it had that to do with it. It was just when I was running in that heat and by
Yeah,
myself. I like to run with the group. I guess you can see I like
yeah,
to talk. But anyway, it's fun. So that might have added to it too.
right, yeah,
It's the
yeah. And
fog.
so you were injured, you were less fit, you were running in the heat and humidity, and
Hmm.
you were just feeling a bit like, well, this sucks. And then you
Yeah,
got back.
yeah. There's crazy things that happen too. Sometimes I had wanted to do a race in St. Petersburg where we are, and I was going to do it, and I got lost getting there, which didn't help. I'm like, oh God. Anyway, so that was probably a month before the one that I was planning to do originally.
Yeah.
This one I was going to do it as just as a training run, but I thought it would be fun seeing people around and whatever. So I didn't get to do it. I got home and I ran it on my own. And I think I did it in an hour and 25 minutes. And I was spent. And I thought, oh my, I've got so much to do before this 10K coming up. But when I came home, I didn't do too badly at all. I was quite happy with my first 10K after, well, actually 2.5 years, I guess. So, yeah,
Mm,
so I was
yeah.
happy.
Well, talk to us about that. Tell us about the race itself that you did
Oh,
just recently.
yay, it was fun. It was a really small race. They don't even record it on sports stats, it's on another program or whatever. But anyway, it was really, really fun. And they do have a half marathon in the fall too that I'd be tempted to do because it is a nice flat race. It's along Lake Simcoe. It's the Georgina Fun Run Spring Fling or something. Yeah, Georgina Spring Fling.
Mm,
And I'd highly recommend it for anybody. Lots of families, walkers for the 10K and 5K, kids, some serious runners too. But I started off and I got to the back of the crowd and it was fun. It was fun. came in with people, you know, different shapes and sizes, ages. Then I was thinking, okay, I think I'm going to get this. I'm not going to be too bad. And then there were these two other ladies in front of me, and I thought, oh wow, I got to beat them. No, this is ridiculous, you know. So I didn't. I let them go through it anyway. They were part of a different age division anyway, so I didn't have anything to worry about. And then when I finished, to find out that I did it in an hour and 12 minutes. I was very happy with that. So much better than an hour and 25, like 3.5 weeks before. And I felt a lot better than I did 3.5 weeks before when I did that 10K for some reason. Well, it was the weather. Then to then look at the results later to find out that I even placed third in my age division, which was, well, like there's 8 people. There were 8, not 6, by the way.
Oh, right. Okay. That's
8.
an even better placing.
Yes. Now, the lady that was in front of me, I've got to really work hard at, because I think she came in at 105.
Right.
So
Okay. So that's next.
that's my goal.
Sounds good. So what is next now for you? What are you going to do from here now that you're back to running?
I'd like to do a half in the fall, and there's a
Cool.
number of them. And there's the Georgina one, and that's early September, so that might not be so great. I think I'd like later, like late September or October. Ottawa has a number of them. There's the Fall Colors, and then they have the Army Run, and I've done the Army Run a number of times.
I love that one.
Past. I just hope they have a different short, but they probably won't. They look the same, and I've got some.
Don't get Lois started on the shirt. The shirt for the Army Run. it's a contentious issue.
Fatigues,
so,
yeah.
How, like, because it was a long time for you, do you know what I mean? And it took, like, you hit a number of setbacks. Progress was slow. It was 10 months, like you said before, you were still in pain, and you hadn't even started running. Like, what kept you going? Like, why was it so important to you to get back to running and not just kind of give up?
Well, once I discovered running almost 30 years ago, it was the only thing that I could actually do and enjoy. I'm not an athletic person. I can sort of participate in sports, but I'm not very good at it. But I could always put my foot in front of, the other, and I could run, and I enjoyed it. And it became my go-to whenever there were difficulties in life. When I was working, I'd have some issues. I'd go for a run. I'd be refreshed. Obviously, I've been through menopause, and that helped me get through all this stuff all these years. I've made so many friends. Running to me was all of the above, like health-wise, mental. I needed it. So when I couldn't do it, it was very, very depressing. And so I had hoped, and that I can continue running, because it's my only real outlet. That I really, I like the training now, though. Boy, with the heavier weights, like you can really get something out of that. But the running, I need it. Yeah. I need it for here. I need it for here. I need it for here. So it's all a part of me. And people know me as a runner. Oh, you're the runner. Oh, I'll never be able to catch up to you. I don't run fast. Never have run fast. I tried to once. That didn't work. That wasn't for me. I didn't achieve what I wanted. It was depressing. I felt miserable. It just did not work. But running, for the sake of running, getting outside, that's another thing too. I hate running indoors. I cannot run on a treadmill. I don't wear earbuds. I need to hear people. Yeah. So that's what running is for me.
That's wonderful. And I'm so happy that you've got it back, because, the way you explain it there, you can see why it leaves such a hole when you weren't able to do it for so long. And you should be very proud of yourself for sticking with it and being able to find a way back.
I'm very proud that I was able to do it, but also it was a little bit of desperation. I had to try it to see if it was going to work, because that's the only thing that really did it for me. So I'm glad, really glad. My husband's glad.
Why is that?
Oh, I'm such a nicer person.
Yeah, me too. I thought it might be that. Well, wonderful. Congratulations on your result, and
Thank you, Matthew. And
obviously
I do owe
excited
it
for the
to
half
you
marathon.
and your team. I'm very, very happy. And I'll just continue running. I won't be getting, maybe I'll place again sometime. It would be kind of nice.
Keep on the
But
trajectory you're
not
on.
the goal. That is not the goal. That is
No,
not the goal.
no,
Look how
like you
thrilled
said,
I was before I even knew I placed.
yeah,
Like, yay, I can do it. That's it.
that's it. Just be out there, be running, and
There
doing
you
your
go.
events, and just enjoying it again. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's great to be part of. So, congratulations,
Thank
Lois.
you.
Thank you for
And
joining
thank
us on the
you.
show and sharing your story.
Oh, thank you very much. Bye.